You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined. You're listening to Black Hollywood Live. And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial, Christon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I am your host, Derrial, Christon, and here joining me today is the lovely and stunning Courtney Stewart.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Jesse. You are equally as stunning. DJ Jesse J is also with us.
I wanted lovely too.
That's right, that's right. Well, today we have a variety of different topics on the show, including Tyler Perry is about to be a papa.
Hey.
What's up, what's up? Model Amber Rose is filing for divorce.
Aww.
And head injuries are being linked to the recent domestic violence cases in the NFL.
Say what?
No
Say
way.
what?
You think so, for real?
You think so? But first, we're going to read the results from last week's buzzer meter question, which was, do you think Adrian Peterson should be removed from the NFL?
What the answer was?
The answer was 58% of you said yes, and 42% of you said no.
That's pretty close.
That's pretty close.
Yeah. All right. Well.
And we know what happened, so, you know.
So sorry to the 42%, y'all.
Can't beat your kids, y'all.
But to the 40,
Can't
yeah.
beat your kids.
Yeah, you can't beat your kids, you know.
So with
Not like that.
No.
Not like that.
Not with the whelps.
Nah, boo.
No.
If you breaking skin, you need to try again.
That's right.
Try something different.
Try something that's not working out for you. But today's buzzer meter question is, which new shows are you excited to watch this season?
You break
The answers include A, Blackish, or B, How to Get Away with Murder, or C, both. I watch both.
I watch both.
And listen, I mean, they're two different extreme shows, but I was pleasantly surprised about both and really enjoyed them.
I was very pleased with both, and I'm excited to see what they do with both.
Yes. All right,
And
but you guys
whoever
vote and
that
let us know.
Muscular Man was with Viola Davis.
Oh, yeah. But don't say if they, you know, if they
I ain't telling you what they was. I'm just saying
in
there
case
was a
people
very
didn't see it yet.
muscular young man with
Oh, you
Viola
said-
Davis.
I'm excited to see because I've heard literally everyone in the world
very-
watched it last night
Yeah.
except for me.
The ratings
and everyone
were
loved it.
ridiculous.
It was like the first season. It's like watching the first episodes of Scandal.
Scandal, that's what I
Like,
said.
It's that
Yeah,
kind of
it's
energy
that kinda
you
energy,
really have
yep.
to like pay attention and watch and like keep up and yeah.
I actually am
Do
going
we
to watch
see Viola
again.
Davis's love interest in
Oh,
it?
honey, you
Oh,
see a
lot of things about Viola Davis.
Viola,
Yeah.
Annalise, whatever
Yeah.
her name is, got a whole lot.
There's a lot of
stuff
things going on.
She got
Exactly.
a whole lot going on.
I'm going to watch it again because
It's not
there's
a
so
white
much
man,
going
though, is
on.
it?
Oh, honey.
We can't
wait,
say.
I'm not gonna
We can't
tell
say.
you, but you got it. It's a lot of men.
There's a lot of things
I'm
going
gonna
on.
say that.
All right, so let's move on to
Annalise
trending topics
Keating
before we
gets
give away
around.
too much stuff about getting away with murder. So,
It already aired. We get to give it away.
all right.
All right, well, this ain't about murder. It's about birth. Tyler Perry, y'all.
What?
This ain't about murder, y'all. It's about birth.
Tyler Perry is about to be working on, he's been working on his biggest project alive. It's having a child. And come to find out, I didn't know this, but Tyler Perry actually predicted that he was going to have a child.
Well, he said he wanted to have one for his like 45th birthday or
yeah,
something.
around
Yeah.
right now. And
Did it, buddy.
happened.
He
I mean, he's
planned.
got the money for it.
He
so.
covered it up until it was time, then he shot it off.
He's expecting a child with his longtime girlfriend, model, and activist, y'all know that name? Jalila Beckley.
Jalila, yeah.
There you go, girl. Hey, girl. GB. So they're going to have a baby. Tyler says he's thrilled, and they're so excited that they've got the nursery ready, and he's ready to change diapers.
Jalila is young, y'all.
She is. She's in her 20s, right?
She's like 28.
Yeah, she's.
But
When did
they've
he-
been
when did he
dating
hire her?
off and on for
You're so
5
silly.
years.
They dating off and on. for
dating
5
off
years.
and on.
I
for
mean,
5
listen,
years.
the news
He
reports are
got
already
a
saying that it's
child?
really a surrogate that he's
Hello.
doing.
Oh, I
And
would love to have a kid around
if
this
he's
specific
having a kid with Jalila,
age.
she's beautiful, so it's gonna be a beautiful baby.
I mean, well, it's just like, what's it called? Dried up milk. If you put some water in it, it works good, right?
wow. I don't even know how I feel about
Because
that.
how old is Tyler Perry?
He's 45.
45.
That's not too
I
old to
mean,
have a
that's
baby.
young.
For a man.
That's young.
Jerk.
I mean, nowadays, 45 is the
hate
new
them.
35.
I
Says
mean,
who?
the 70s were a rough time. You know, we heard about Waka Flocka. But I'm not saying Tyler Perry does any of that, so moving on.
He'll be
All
a
right.
daddy. Well,
Moving
either way,
on.
that baby's gonna live it up.
That baby's
real well.
got, listen,
Even better
I want to
than-
be his child.
Me too. Adopt me.
Hello.
Right.
I'm like, Oprah, what's going on with you?
I've been trying to be
Right.
adopted.
I'm still waiting for Oprah and Gail to adopt me. I've been waiting for that a long time. I guess that ain't gonna happen.
Oprah and
I said
Gail.
Oprah and Gail. Look, I'm gonna throw in Stedman too.
I think that would be fun.
I think it would
I think
be.
Gail
Imagine
would
if
be-
Tyler Perry and Stedman were dating and Oprah and Gail were dating.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
not. I'm not
I just want
gonna
to be
do
their
that.
children.
In my fantasy
and I don't even
world.
ask
I
for
want to
much.
work for them, and like I want them to like pay for my life.
Me
So
too.
I'm gonna speak positive.
Me too.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
I mean, they say
That
they're
ain't
not
gay.
gay, so then I have to
Listen.
accept that.
I just said in my fantasy world.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is someone else's messed up fantasy world, but going back to Shonda Rhimes.
Oh Lord.
So, a writer from the New York Times.
The New York Times.
The New York Times.
Make sure y'all
Messed up
heard
stuff.
that. New York
Yeah.
Times.
She wrote an article which opens up with the line saying, "When Shonda Rhimes writes her autobiography, it should be called How to Get Away with Being an Angry Black Woman." Her upcoming law school drama will feature a strong African American female lead, and that the showrunner has followed a similar formula on her other hit shows, including Scandal. Shonda kind of went on to basically kind of say that Shonda kind of tells the same story, and that all of her the African American female leads in Shonda's stories are always angry and at somebody. Shonda was a little confused by this, so she went to Twitter and tweeted the following: "Confused why the New York Times critic doesn't know the identity of creator of the show she's reviewing. Pete Noah, did you know you were an angry black woman? Apparently, we can be angry black women together because I didn't know I was one either. Hashtag learn something new every day. Final thing, then I'm gonna do some yoga. How come I am not an angry black woman the many times Meredith or Addison rants?
Right.
Wait, I'm angry and a romance writer? I'm going to need to put down the internet and go dance this one out because ish is getting real." My thing about this whole thing is, if you watch any of Shonda Rhimes' shows, it was just targeting the African American leads in the
Right.
shows. But if you watch Scandal, if you watch any of the other Shonda shows, it's not just the black girl who's mad in it. Everyone else, these are different emotions that they carry. So to sit there and put this box on these characters, it's disgusting. And and there's no way this girl's writing for the New York Times after this.
Well, just to use the word angry is played because obviously she doesn't know her knowledge of the fact that we take offense to being called angry black man, angry black woman, whatever that may be. That's very offensive, because like you said, there are a variety of characters on both of those shows, and not all the characters are angry. Just like any other show, there's an angry white man, Asian woman, Mexican woman, whatever it may be, on a variety of different shows.
The president's wife, that bitch is angry all the time.
She was real angry last night.
You know what I'm saying?
She was depressed last night.
She was depressed.
She was depressed last
Yes.
night.
But she has been angry.
She has been angry. I don't, whatever. I don't even. It was laughable to read the piece, and the reason it was like beyond laughable is because it was in the New York Times, and I
Right.
was like, did nobody read this? And
Right.
like, and even just down to Shonda's first comment, Shonda didn't even create How to Get Away with Murder.
Right.
That wasn't even her creation.
Right.
And it's not like the characters in these shows are
One-dimensional.
like, or that it's like extremely significant that of their blackness in terms of their character.
Yeah.
It's not like their blackness is sort of the catalyst for what's happening story-wise. So it just happens to be a role that they happen to cast a black woman in. So I don't. It's not like she wrote like about the black experience in these
Right,
shows,
right.
and it's angry,
Right.
and these angry black women are these leads. So I can't even believe that it was published, and it's embarrassing. The New York Times should be like wholly embarrassed and
Yeah, they
like
should.
setting that girl paperwork on fire and being like, peace. Like,
You
you
set
should-
paperwork
you
on
gonna be
fire.
angry
she never
white
write
bitch.
again because she never, as far as I saw in terms of follow-up articles or follow-up tweets or whatever, like I didn't ever see her come back and apologize really, like or even understand why what she wrote was a problem.
Right.
Because it seemed that she kept saying that that whole like I apologize if it offended anyone kind of situation, but she made no recognition of like, because she went on to discuss in that article about the over-sexualization of Viola Davis in the part of How to Get Away, and like she just really dove into some really unfortunate stereotypes in terms of the Jezebel and the angry black woman. Like, and she just went some places that she obviously don't know nothing about,
She does not.
and didn't even attempt to be like, oh well, maybe I should figure something about it.
Honestly, when I read it, I was like, she's just trying to make a name for herself to cause some controversy.
See,
so
I
people
don't even
start
know
to
if
pay
she really
attention or
tried to
something.
Do you think she was like smart enough to think that?
Maybe
I
not.
wonder.
I was
don't
hoping.
think
I was
so.
hoping that maybe that's what the reason
If
was.
that's the case, then I'm like, okay, cool. You basically wrote like a salacious piece
Right.
for the sake of getting your name known. But like, I don't know if
I don't know if I think that. I kind of think that she
really, honestly,
in her
reviewed it.
mind, off of what the article said, it was just very like it was like you're looking at this way, but you don't want to acknowledge anything else that's in the room.
Right.
As far as what she put together, so. I don't know if she's that smart enough to have created something along the lines of that to get herself fame or fortune or whatnot. Or if it did, it bit her in the ass. So sorry, boo. Moving on. Omari Hardwick is in the media, and not for anything positive. Well, I guess it's kind of positive.
Oh, you picked
so
a nice one.
a bunch of Twitter followers. This was one of the only ones I could find of both of them.
Oh, really?
Well, a good one of both of them. So Omari Hardwick recently found out that Twitter users were verbally assassinating his wife, his former publicist, Jennifer, not saying that last name.
Come on, you gotta try.
You got to try it.
Fouch?
Fauch.
I don't think you say the P.
Fauch.
I think it's Fauch.
All right, there you go, girl. So the couple was having lunch in New York with their son, where paparazzi took pictures and they posted online, and a bunch of Twitter people had kind of talked about how ugly she was, and kind of pointing at the fact that he married this ugly white girl. Omari did not like that, and so he went to Twitter with class and said the following: I wish all of you could experience celebrity for a week to understand the level of ugly in certain diseases called human beings. I thought it was ugly losing my son. I thought it was ugly losing my brother at 45 and sister at 33, which I did not know he lost all these people in his life. All within a 3-year span. Ugly of hate is a portion of cancer immeasurable. Social media has aided in the hate of my generation of public figures versus those before us. I want to personally thank all of you who have only loved and supported properly, challenged me, and recognized God's truth of my existence and those I would die and kill for. I love you back.
I mean, it's just rude to personally attack anyone as their boo, whatever it may be, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, on any social media outlet. I mean, that's who he's married to, and it's just disrespectful, Omari's a great guy. We interviewed him on Portraits. You should check out that on Black Hollywood Live. And he talked about family and just the social media and how, his career has just really blown up because of certain things like that with social media and just his fans. It's sad it's sad that people just feel that they have that much access to you that they can just dish the person you love.
Okay. Now I'm on the fence with this because I feel like, here's my thing. I feel like he's at a point where it's like, okay, everyone's coming at me because I'm with this white girl. I feel like that's where he's fed up with it.
And I'm sure.
But at the same time, we say the same thing to Kanye West. We're like, Kanye, sit down, shut up, because this is the life that you wanted. I'd be sitting up here talking about Kim Kardashian, the way she looked. I'd be sitting up here talking about whoever. You put yourself in a certain position. Now, I understand this is his wife, and I believe she's not in entertainment business, But if you are, and you get snapped with her in public, and she looked crazy, the world's going to say she looked crazy. Now, as far as it getting into the race stuff, I can see you being upset with that because, whatever, you fell in love with her for whatever your specific reasons are, that's that. But as far as with her being, her looks, if she dyed her hair green and she looked crazy, I'm going to comment on it. It's, you put yourself in that position. You
True.
put your family in that position. You put everybody in your inner circle in that position because
he's a celebrity.
Because he's a celebrity, and because it's just the world we're in. It's sad, we talked about. I think we talked about. Oh no, it wasn't here. But I talked about this with the YouTube stars. These YouTube stars, they're not really celebrities, but they are, and people feel like they have access to their lives because look at who our number one media source is, TMZ. We've built this culture of you're a celebrity, we get to know everything about you. Sorry.
Go ahead. I feel like you just delivered a sermon up in this piece.
There you go. You're a celebrity. Deal with it.
You feel that?
I mean, it sucks.
I was waiting for like some long comment from Courtney.
I don't have a long comment. I mean, I do feel bad. I feel bad for her because as a woman, that really sucks. Like especially when you're not the celebrity, like you're just married to one, and you just kind of want to get to go to the red carpet with your husband and have a good time and feel pretty, and like then to have and people are saying some.
They're saying some mean
awful things.
Yeah.
So
they went in.
Is it mean and horrible? Absolutely. But it sort of comes with the territory in the world that we live in. And is it okay? No, but it exists. And it's kind of just one of those things. I mean, he actually spoke to it, which I don't even know if, he should have. Or I don't. It's one of those things like, do you even bother to give voice to that?
Yeah,
it sounds like a snap, though. This sounds like he just couldn't.
Well, she might have had seen something like awful and was crying that day when he came home.
Know.
And he's like,
right.
I'm sick of this. And there's no other real way he can, defend his wife and support. I mean,
But imagine, like, I don't know what it's like to go through that time of the month, but imagine she on that time of the month and she's seeing all this stuff.
You had to take it to the time. You had to take it to the time of the month.
I'm sorry.
Couldn't she just had a bad Wednesday?
No, because I live with a female that 100%.
What you trying to say, Jesse?
Huh? Girl, and I'd be around you too. I'd be around too many females to not know that time of the month is a very serious time of the month. But it can really cause a lot of things. And if people are telling you, oh, you're ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that. I mean, when that's not even going on, that's hard for me.
Even the strongest person would take it kind of hard, It's tough.
No one wants to be criticized like that.
And it's harder because it's like, someone like from Love and Hip Hop, Mama D. She chooses to put herself on national television.
For ridiculousness.
Exactly. So that, I feel like you can comment on that. Kim Kardashian, you can comment on that.
Right.
Someone like her, she doesn't put herself out there. I feel like, for me, that's not touchable.
Right.
It's like kids. You don't touch that.
And that's kind of what I was saying.
I mean, I know you don't do this. You do this for yourself. But, maybe going forward, just, get a new wig and some cooler makeup for one time and just be like,
she should really.
She has thin hair.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she, maybe she's into like the rocker look or something. I don't know. But I would just come out and be like, there.
Yeah, she should take some sexy Instagram
mad.
photos and put them out there.
All of this is happening is because he's fine as hell. Like, you got
and
a man
haters.
that's
hating on
beautiful
him.
and they're hating because they don't have them. So get yours, girl.
Yeah.
I ain't mad.
And shout out to Omari Hardwick because that's really hard. Like, I did not know about that.
We love Omari at Black Hollywood Live. Yes, it's good people.
All right, and that's all I have.
And that's
all right. Well, you
and in that order. And apparently,
like you got an AfterBuzz.
I got to tell you about this little site called AfterBuzz TV.
A little site.
Well, I'm just gonna promote my show on it, but whatever. We have a whole bunch of TV shows. We have a whole bunch of TV shows. Whatever your favorite TV show is, right after it's done. Let's say you're watching, I don't know, like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, which airs Mondays at 9 p.m. here on AfterBuzz They're on AfterBuzzTV.com. As soon as the episode's done, we're here talking about it.
Just watch Jesse's after show. Don't watch.
Honestly, you could just watch our after show.
Or you could watch Walking Dead on October 12th.
You could do that. Or you can watch Downton Abbey on Mondays.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
There you go.
All right, let's move on to some gossip and rumors with Courtney Stewart.
Okay.
You're killing it today, Courtney.
Gossip and rumors. I'm killing
I'm
things.
loving our gene.
You're
We did not even talk to each
I
other.
didn't even realize that. We're matching. Look at that.
Your little look game today
We were
is on
trying
fire.
to be, this was supposed to be fall cash today, so, okay.
You're doing it.
Moving on. So, I'm doing it, but
We do have
sadly,
Gene. We do have Gene. I just realized
we're
that.
all denim. It's all
Y'all
denim
didn't
day.
just realize it. I just told you.
Okay, Dad, sorry.
Thanks, sorry. All right, fine.
Okay, so gossip and rumors. Well, this isn't really gossip or rumors. This is real life, y'all.
Shit happened.
I'm so heartbroken because Amber Rose filed for divorce from Wiz Khalifa this week. And it was shocking.
It kind of
It was
really
shocking.
was.
Come on. It shocked gossip. Like, it shocked us.
I didn't
people.
believe it at first,
I was like, wait, no. I just saw them. Yes. Rumors of infidelity are supposedly the cause.
On both sides.
Well,
We're going to talk about that. Okay, so there's trying to be all kinds of, like, commentary that maybe Amber stepped out with Nick Cannon and blah, 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 blah. Wiz went on tour. He's on tour right now in Europe. And he didn't want her to go with him, even though she said, you know, the baby's young, we can go. Like, I'll go around. He was like, nah, boo, you stay home taking care of the baby. So she actually went on Instagram or Twitter last night or this morning. I think it was last night. And she actually said that all these rumors about cheating, I ain't the one, basically. It was Wiz.
I would never cheat on my husband.
I would not cheat on my husband. And I believe her.
I do too. I don't think she did. I don't think she did at all.
And I think if she did anything, it was after he did it.
Yep.
But why would he say that though? What would be his advantage of saying that when, you know what I mean? Like
Because
putting
we
that out
love
there to
him.
media.
Because we
PR?
love them. And PR-wise, he looks real shady, like cheating on his wife and new baby.
And it's obvious. Like, I mean, he's a rapper. Like, you hate
A
to
rapper
put
on
that
tour,
stereotype
still partying.
out there. But
You
I
didn't
mean,
want your wife to go with you? Why is your wife not with you?
I mean, yeah, that's true.
When she could. Because, like, that's the whole
I tried
reason
to
you do
defend
that.
him. I
That's the
tried.
whole reason you do it. Like, you know what? It's going to be temptation out there, and it's going to be crazy. Go ahead, bring it. As long as, like, the kid is not at school age yet and it's not changing his life, you take your wife with you.
I think that was this is a dumb move for you, Wiz.
Because they were so cute.
They
Baby
were.
Bash is, like, the cutest little thing
He's a pretty cute
ever.
kid.
And I was so disappointed, but...
And you know, Wiz Khalifa is an amazing rapper. However, I think that this relationship really elevated him in music,
I started paying attention.
made him more relevant, clearly made her continue to be relevant.
And I've only seen them in interviews, like, on The Wendy Show. And I liked both of them.
They always seem
Yeah.
really in love.
They're really in
They
love,
truly
really
do.
likable people, and, like, seem really, like, honest people. Like, they don't lie about the weed smoking around the baby.
But now it
and
kind of puts a
whatever.
taint on Wiz for me. I thought he was gonna be like Snoop Dogg, like him and his girl would be together with the
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
forever. You know, Snoop might step out once in a blue moon. Who knows what his situation is? But the girl knows he gonna come back home.
We know what Snoop's situation was.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what he thought, too, that he could have that kind of situation. Amber was like, oh, no.
Right? She's like,
I'm
honey, it
not
didn't
gonna
work
be
with,
that.
with Kanye. And
I'm
he got
not
more
gonna be
zeros
that.
at the end of his net worth.
True
So
that,
why I'm gonna
true
do that
that.
with you?
So, there you go, guys. Let's mourn the loss of Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa.
Another one bites the dust.
Okay, we're done.
All right.
Next up, Patti LaBelle was in the news this week, and we never talk about Patti LaBelle, but apparently, so this West Point cadet named Richard King was suing Patti LaBelle for a nice little chunk of money, saying that she, like, basically told her peeps to try to take this dude out.
How does Patti LaBelle order a
I
hit
just
on
can't.
somebody?
Like, really? Okay, so there was an encounter in the Bush airport in 2011, and basically he claims that the singer's 400-pound bodyguard and two others, like, really jacked him up for no reason at all. And there was video footage of the incident that was in court, and it was shown. And so after 12 hours of deliberation on Tuesday, the jury basically said, you're full of crap, and he got no money.
What?
Really?
Got nothing. And so the
Illuminati.
King's attorney walks out like, I don't understand. We had a tape. He was getting beat up on the tape. But what Patti LaBelle's people are saying is that this guy actually was attacking her son, who was with her at the time. And he was trying to shove his way into the limo. He was drunk. And that's when he also yelled a racial insult at Patti LaBelle. And
That'll
that's
do
sort
it.
of what brought on the bodyguard attack. She didn't necessarily command them to go kill him, but sort of.
I mean, you know, like,
Like, it's so absurd.
it's crazy. But, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean,
I shouldn't laugh because he did get hurt. But
he did get hurt, yeah.
I mean, you really saying you weren't doing nothing, and then all of a sudden the
Right,
bodyguard
yeah.
Patti LaBelle's just walking around
Patti
like,
was
beat them up.
"Kill
Beat him up."
that. Kill him.
Now, when I first read the story, I could have seen Patti possibly putting a hit on somebody. This is why. I've seen some videos where Patti got irritated with people who were in her crowd and they were talking
Yeah.
and doing things, and she would go off on them. And I was like,
But
I
she
can see-
snaps on them. She's not like, kill that man.
No, you're right. You're right. There is a difference. You're
You never
right.
know. The queen might have
But you
been
never
off
know,
on
right?
that day.
Right. On that day, she
Talking
could have been
about,
on
what did he
one.
call
She
me?
is
Right.
past her cycle time, okay?
She would be like,
She is steady past menopause
Big
at this
Red,
point.
Paula Deen his ass.
Anyway, apparently the jury wasn't buying it because he didn't get nothing. So, sorry, boo. Hope you heal up real nice. It's been 3 years. Get over it. Okay, moving on. I don't even want to do this story.
I love this.
God. Okay, so you know how like last week or 2 weeks ago we talked about the crazy girl that was doing things in the car and was accused of prostitution? Well, apparently this kind of thing is maybe not as far-fetched and far between as we may think. In New York, at the Standard Hotel, a woman by the name of Kentucky Washington, or Kentucky, I'm going to go with Kentucky. Kentucky Washington, who is a professional woman, was hanging out with two of her friends.
By professional, you mean business, right?
A professional woman that works as the director of Soul Afrique, and her two friends who are educators we're hanging out at the Standard Hotel, happy hour in it, chilling. Nice young black man walks up and says, "Oh, y'all look kind of fine. Won't y'all come down to the bar downstairs?" So they're like, "Okay."
Because they were waiting for a taxi outside.
Yes. She's like, "Okay, no problem. He's fine. We might get a date out of this deal." They go down. They sit down thinking they're going to, you know, chill out, do that thing and socialize and whatnot. And then apparently a security guard walks up to their table. And the guy was quickly escorted away. And the security guard walks away and says, "Come on, ladies, you can buy drinks here, but you cannot solicit." Wow. So Kentucky and her friends were like, what? Like, solicit?
I would have been laughing.
I'm sorry, are you, they were confused. They were like, what is he, and they asked, they were like, "Are you accusing us of prostitution?" And he just was like, and walked away. So they complained later to management, and managers were like, "Oh, no big deal." But then a reporter contacted the hotel after Kentucky was telling her story to some folks, and the hotel called Kentucky and her peeps back and said, "We'll give you and your friends dinner and a bottle of champagne, amounting to about $400 for your experience. We sorry, bye."
I would ask for a lifetime room gratuity forever.
I would never stay in that hotel again. You thought I was a prostitute. 1, I will take those rooms at a different hotel that you will be paying for. 2, and 3, how the hell are you? I totally believe this story because
I believe it.
I just think people are really that ignorant.
It's sad. I believe it though.
And I believe that the hotel, when they went to go complain, I do believe that the hotel acted just as ignorant to them.
Yeah.
And then even more ignorant to offer them a $400 comp. Like, $400, you told me I was a prostitute. If I had sucked his dick, I would have made more than that. So,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? At least $800.
Well, that's a high-class escort. That's not a prostitute.
Yeah, that's not a prostitute. Yeah.
Well, Kentucky. I just would have been real ethnic. I'm sorry.
I would act a little
I think
crazy.
I might have acted a little bit out of character because that's bogus.
I would have laughed and told them, "Do you know how much money I'm going to make off of you for saying something that's stupid?"
Or I would have gotten my phone and I would have been like,
I was just about to say that
again.
Get out of my head. I was just about to say that.
I would have been like, "Say that again to my," and I don't really know. Like, I mean, I guess you could sue, kind of, because you can sue for anything in this country, but would you really get anything out of it? Probably not, and it was probably even more stressful. But I would post it all over the internets that I could find. I would post up stuff in front of that hotel that I could find and be like, "Black people don't roll up in here because apparently they think you a hooker."
But I mean, honestly, you could sue for that because if you think about this, here's a business owner. What is Soul Africa? It's like web-based something.
Web-based something.
Okay. Here's somebody who now we understand that she is not a prostitute, but for the ignorant people who are just kind of scrolling through the newsletters, seeing her name accused of a prostitute, there is a little questionable look every time you see this woman now, or people might see her. I don't know. It kind of does put a taint on who was the guy that he was just escorted from the table.
Right. Yeah. Where did he disappear?
How do we know he's not the hooker? How about that?
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, that's true. But whatever happened to him?
Yeah.
By the way,
He was
just
escorted
to the.
How did that conversation happen?
The report did not go that deep, so I don't know where he is. But maybe they should find him.
They should find him.
But
the
yeah, I mean, I
needs to hire
think they
some
could
new
sue,
people.
but they wouldn't. I mean, because it wasn't like they were kicked out; they were insulted horribly.
Yeah, but they were insulted by the staff.
Well, they were insulted by the staff, but that's like the business's job to like try to make up for that when their staff messes up, not legally. And I mean, legally, all that's going to do is give you a headache and cost you money to try to get something out of it, which you probably won't.
Because the business is just going to say, "We didn't know he would react like that." They're going to...
Or they're like, "He's been fired." Like, it wasn't a physical attack. There was no assault. They weren't taken out. I mean, they weren't told that they can't have drinks. Like...
Oh, well, free comp, girl, for the rest of your life.
I would have at least sued to try and get more. Like literally, I would be able to go to any of their hotels or the parent company hotels for free for the rest of my life.
Because Standard is that SBS?
I don't know who their parent company is.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
But any hoodles.
It's SLS.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry.
That's that for them.
And she didn't get the number from the guy.
She didn't get no number.
We don't know where he is. Maybe she did get it. We don't know where he is.
So rude. So nasty. So rude.
All right. Well, Thank you for those gossip and rumors, Courtney. Before we move on to hot topics, I want to remind everyone to go to iTunes and give us a comment and rating and let us know what you guys like and dislike. We have a variety of different shows. We have Fashion 401, which Courtney hosts. We have The Beat with Jesse. We have Breaking Into, which is another show that I host. We also have Portraits, which we all do, and the list goes on and on. So please go to iTunes, give us a rating. We're working for y'all here. We're working hard for y'all. So go to iTunes, give us a rating, let us know what you like. We like 5 stars, but if you don't want to give us 5, at least let us know what we should improve on.
But give us 5 stars and just fucking do it. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Make our life a little easier so we can continue to give you great programming. All right, we are going to move to hot topics and go to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
We got it.
All right, so obviously the domestic violence in the NFL has been a major subject that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Real Sports on HBO, which Brian Gumbel is on, is going to be doing a story in the next couple of weeks about linking the domestic violence to head injuries. Here's a clip that we have here that they've been advertising to kind of show what the episode's going to be all about.
Grabbing me or walking by me and pushing me, to pulling my hair. There was once where he dragged me up and down the stairs, kicked me, would throw me against the wall.
Did you feel your life was in jeopardy?
Not at the beginning. As time went on, I started thinking about that, yes. I was just in such a mode where it's like trying to protect my family from this monster that was not my husband.
Chelsea Oliver says the monster her husband...
So that's a little brief clip of what to expect in the story. That was John Franco, who is a correspondent for the show. He's sitting down with the widow of Paul Oliver. He's a San Diego Charger who recently committed suicide. But he's talking to his ex-wife, in reference to the domestic violence that happens that they're trying to link to possible brain injuries that are happening in the NFL. This story is interesting to me because it's something that's been brought up before, that there could be some possible links to it. In fact, an expert from Boston University has said that an advanced form of CTE, which is a degenerate disease that is linked to repeated jolts to the brain, can cause mood swings and behavior changes, was possibly linked to Paul Oliver, for one. And then Dr. Douglas Smith, a professor of neurosurgery and director of the Center for Brain Injury and Repair at the University of Pennsylvania, said this: aggression is one of the most common aspects of severe TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. He said generally aggression is thought to be linked to damage to the frontal lobes, which are responsible for executive function. The frontal lobes control things like restraint. Patients are disinhibited and can't modulate their behavior in general, and that includes aggressive behavior. So this episode is going to air, as I was mentioning, kind of on HBO's Real Sports in the next couple of weeks. But what do you guys think about the correlation that there may be some links to brain injury and concussions that are causing some of these athletes to act in a violent way?
I feel like we've been known this, and this is something that I think we've said every single week. The NFL has to step in at some point and acknowledge this and rework their, I don't know if it's their training or what they need to do, add some psychologists up in there and make it on a weekly thing that these guys have to be seeing somebody, anger management classes, or what they have to be doing. But I feel like this is the NFL. I mean, this is their world. They're hiring these people to come work for them. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing that, and you know that these things can happen, you need to have the resources to be able to pick up any type of mess that is created out of it.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, you have, because they obviously have the resources. That's not the problem. I don't know what level of education on the damage that is happening or could happen to their brain, so that at least, like this woman that was just talking, in some situations they can maybe recognize, like, hey, my junk is really off. I snapped on her before it gets to a point where he's dragging her up and down stairs. And even for her, if maybe she was aware And that's not to say that she wasn't. Maybe she was. She wasn't. Assuming she wasn't aware that, you know, some possible brain injuries playing the football, maybe she would have noticed behavioral changes enough to be like, okay, well, maybe you should see somebody, a doctor. I don't know. Maybe they need to have a doctor on staff that's constantly monitoring brain activity.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they have a freaking medical staff. Like, I just can't imagine why they're not really on top of it.
So I would say the health insurance.
But they have great health insurance.
Yeah,
No, I know. And
amazing health, and I just don't.
Should be tied in.
That's why I don't understand why. Is it that they just, okay, it's happening, but there's nothing else we can really do about it. Like, we give you medical insurance, that's amazing, because they do get great medical insurance. If you choose not to go to the doctors and you choose not to go to therapists, that's on you. Like, we've provided what's available from our end, and you're not taking advantage. That's not our responsibility. Like, I don't really know what else.
Well, I was watching this documentary. I forget what it was called. It's on Netflix. It's really good, but it talks about pro athletes, and a lot of these athletes, the NFL says, you know, we got your back and all this, but the NFL is really picking these guys out of high school who don't have degrees, who aren't smart, don't really know what to do with their money, how to save money, or, you know, and they use them, they abuse them, and then they spit them back out.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of in the same kind of situation. Now, not only are they doing that financially to these guys, but they're doing it physically and mentally to them as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it's something that maybe with that insurance that it is required that you guys have to go to, if you are married, that you have to go to
Single too, dude.
You know what I mean?
Girlfriends.
Yeah, no, exactly. I do. I think that it should be you and your partner. When it comes to marriage, though, I think your partner does need to go, because I think a psychologist would be able to pick out, like, okay, something is not right here.
Yeah.
And I think it is up to the NFL. I mean, we've been talking about this 4 weeks in a row, different incidents now.
Right, and they keep increasing. By the
So
way.
this is freaking weird.
Yeah.
And now it's time, you know, third's the charm.
Yeah.
Let's get going on
So
it.
maybe
Nothing's
it's
gonna happen,
therapist
though.
requirement, but it needs to be like an outside therapy requirement.
Yeah, no
so not
NFL.
somebody that's like linked to, so that they can't be like bribed. Like, your
Yep.
money can't depend
Right.
on what your diagnosis is. Because like, if you be like, yo, the star player is jacking up his wife, this is not okay, and they don't want to hear that because he's the star player. Like, we need them to be able to feel free to be honest.
Well, here's my thing. I'm interested to see that Real Sports episode, because CTE is an interesting argument, because I'm on the fence about it. Because if it is something, I think if it is something that is relevant to these athletes that have concussions or brain problems or things like that, or, you know, hits to the head a certain amount of times, my only thing is it has to be just certain select number of people who it's affecting, because otherwise you have most NFL players or athletes being affected by this, and it would be a lot more stories than what's out right now.
So maybe it's just, I mean, obviously maybe it's just a contributing factor, not the factor.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you are predisposed to violence and domestic violence anyway, like you grew up in it or whatever it is, and then you're getting beat in the brain, so your brain activity is not right either, like those two things together, sort of like, you know, if you're predisposed to alcoholism and you start drinking, like you are more likely to become an alcoholic. So I don't, maybe it's just a contributing factor, and they need to do
But I mean, look at there are offices where, you know, a lot of offices are changing their routine, the cubicle routine to being,
layouts.
okay, you know what? You guys are sitting down in here for 8 hours straight. We can't do that. There needs to be some sort of activity moving, and they create activities for the people because it's wrong for them to be sitting for that amount of hours.
Sure.
So they try to find different ways so people aren't having these health problems.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. There's so much money in there that they are capable of finding a program.
Some new helmets.
Yeah. And actually, I wasn't even looking anything up along this topic, but I had seen the padding in helmets versus football and all the different sports. Not that great.
Yeah. I mean, they could be a lot better, I'm sure.
Yeah. Not that great at all.
Maybe they should work that out too. Work that out.
I mean, I just think that overall, you know, just being an athlete, there's a lot of aggression just obviously with the
Well,
sports
yeah,
you're tackling.
you need
So
that.
it's needed, A, and then B, you know, I think that I could see how some of these guys, not justifying it, but may take that aggression home. You know what I mean? Just because you're in this
Well, you take the
all
adrenaline
the time.
home for
You're taking that
sure.
adrenaline
So
home, you know, and that might be hard to control, you know? So
And there's a really good show. It used to be on ESPN, I think. It was called Game Changers. But if you can find it online, it's a really... I hate watching sports. But it's a scripted show, and it really gives you a pretty good look inside of what these guys go through and what the company kind of does to take care of them. So very interesting. It's called Game Changers, 2 seasons.
Well, check that out. All right, and for more on this story, go to EUR Web, our media partner, to find out the latest updates on this whole domestic violence issue in the NFL. All right, we're going to move on to another story, which we spoke about a couple weeks ago. As we thought that things were calming down in Ferguson, Missouri, after the Michael Brown murder, tensions have started to run high again. Apparently, there was a makeshift memorial that was burned down, and there's been a lot of rioting and protest in regards to this. CNN reported that protesters were threatening officers, shooting at them, throwing rocks and bottles, tossing liquids. 2 officers were injured, one being struck in the head by a rock. It's also been reported that looters tried to make off with a cash register from a local business. It's the 3rd time, apparently, that the business has been broken into in 6 weeks. A museum shop called the Whistle Stop was set on fire, and gasoline appeared to be poured around the facility. And protesters said that they were angry that one of the 3 makeshift memorials had been burned down. The cause of the blaze for the makeshift is still under investigation. A lot of the locals believe that the police is involved in this. There's no proof with it right now, but that's where they're saying that that's why tensions got so heated and the riots started to begin again. The memorial consisted mainly of large stuffed animals and flowers. So what do you guys think about this whole situation in Missouri? Do you think that we're ever really going to be able to get the tensions on a stable level there?
I mean,
oh, geez.
I take by that silence that you probably don't think so.
I mean, this is ignorance.
It'll eventually calm down at some point. I mean, it calmed, it lulled, and it'll fire up again if he's ever indicted. It'll go back down if he's on trial. It'll fire back up when we're waiting for the verdict. So it'll run its course, I guess. But it's just tough because, like, when you heard that the memorial was burned down, I would like to believe, and my gut says it wasn't purposeful. There were candles. It's very easily not purposeful. So, and it wouldn't be in anybody's interest, especially not the police, after what they've been through in the last few weeks.
I was like, would they be that stupid to start it up again?
If anything, it just feels like a dumb person that was like, I'm gonna set this on fire, like, and just turning a city upside down again. And it's just really unfortunate. But good luck, y'all. Like, God bless. Like, that's a mess. Yeah. And the answer is not to loot and to beat the police too. Like, it just doesn't. We ain't gonna get nowhere.
Well, and also the problem is now is that there's so much tension there that the police chief there has said, you know, if these riots start up again, we're going to do any means necessary to calm it down. Meaning, you know, riot gear, having the cops come in loads, like, you know, guns. It just
and didn't the police chief get beat up or done something? Jack pushed and shoved or something when he was doing a speech, and I'm just like, you guys. It ain't the way, because they did so well. It was nice that it was able to be sort of calmed down, to be calm protesting when everything was happening, and this to me just sets all of that back.
Ablaze.
Like, don't do that, guys.
Well, hopefully they can move on from this, and you know, we can get things situated back in Ferguson. If you check out one of our This Week episodes when Jeannie Mai from The Real was on, we actually interviewed someone who gave us a really good perspective on how the tensions were there because they were living it. So you should check that This Week's episode out, which is probably about 3 weeks.
I think it was
3 weeks ago now. So check that out.
3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
All right, last story of the day is actually my favorite story of the week, I must say.
Makes no sense.
This is great. You know, I'm gonna give a shout out to all you pot smokers out there because this story is designed for you. All right, so Charlotte Green, a reporter for the Anchorage, Alaska's KTVA, announced on air that she was going to be quitting. Now, there's 2 parts of this. It's interesting that she announced on air that she was quitting, and B, it's the way that she announced herself on air that she was quitting. We're going to show you a little clip right now, and if you're listening, you can check out the audio of how she quit on air.
Now, everything you heard is why I, the actual owner of the Alaska Cannabis Club, will be dedicating all of my energy toward fighting for freedom and fairness, which begins with legalizing marijuana here in Alaska. And as for this job, well, not that I have a choice, but fuck it, I quit.
This is my
All right,
favorite.
we apologize for that.
That's my favorite
We'll be
part
right
of the video.
She's like,
Because she didn't know what to say. The
do.
poor girl did not know what to say after Miss Charlo exited her way out with the FU word on air.
I don't get it. Why did she quit?
She had to be mad. She was mad because
'cause she
somebody
said-
knew she's the queen of the cannabis club or whatever, and I'm
That's
sure
what they're saying.
like
it was revealed at the
it was
station,
revealed,
and they were giving her
gonna
a hard
fire, and
time.
they were giving her a
oh,
hard
no,
time about
that
it,
I
so
have
she
a
just got it.
choice.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
she
well,
was
you
just trying
go,
to get back
girl.
at them. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is what she said
This is gonna
about it.
backfire on you, but
It is.
It is, but this is what she said. There comes a time in each and every one of our lives where we must choose to continue to spectate or stand up for what's right. She concluded by saying, advocating for freedom and fairness should be for everyone in their duty. I'm making it my life to uphold what America stands for truly, liberty and the pursuit of happiness, ideals that now need to be defended. Now, Alaska is set to vote on ballot measure 2 in November, which would legalize the possession of a small amount of marijuana for recreational use. Now, I mean, here's the thing. She's never going to be able to get a news job ever again.
Well, once it's legalized, she don't want one because the cash
Well,
dollars she
and
gonna be making
right.
off
Right.
her cannabis club.
She does have a cannabis club, so you know she's got her own
worried about
place.
nothing.
She
She ain't
ain't gonna
worried.
worry about. You're right about that.
She ain't
She's
worried.
not.
She
I
ain't
you know.
worried.
I mean, I
TV was
get
not her desired career.
defending, you know, what you believe in, but
But girl, come on.
now, did you have to do that on
See,
the
I don't
news-
think
on the
she'll
show?
be. I don't think it'll be that bad for her because we live in an age of
That's
new
true.
age television.
And she's famous now because of
Yep.
this. So
Do you know how many pothead motherfuckers who are running shit are probably gonna think that she could be easily like one of those like a talk
Advocate,
soup or anything,
a
you know what I
marijuana
mean?
advocate?
But like one of those but she's in a way it's a shtick kind of joke
Yeah.
about it. But I mean,
Do what you
hey,
do,
girl.
girl.
You believe in what you believe in.
She was
girl.
ballsy.
what
I
you
mean,
do.
she was ballsy. Now, do you two
feel you.
believe that marijuana should be legalized in all
Sure the
states?
fuck do.
Okay, well, I know what your answer is. Thank you very much, Jesse.
You said
we
the
know
two.
why. No, I'm kidding. I think it should be. I think it should be because I think it is a great source of tax income.
Very true.
That's all. Everyone's like, it's a gateway drug. And I'm not even worried about that no more. I think it's a great tax revenue spot, and I think that the government should tax it, and we should be done with it and stop wasting our money on prisons and arresting all these people for a
Yep.
little bit of marijuana.
And there's an interview she did, which before all this stuff had came out, it was just an interview that was up of her, where she was talking about why she does it, and that's all the reasons of why she wants to fight. Because people in her family had been arrested and prosecuted for the tiniest
Sorry,
amounts
I can't.
of weed.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Lamar went to jail because he had some weed, and
Right.
she don't want that to happen.
she don't want that to happen to her.
So I'm gonna quit my day job.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, she better hope that actually. Here's my thing, though. She should have waited to quit after it is legalized.
Legalized,
That would have
yeah.
been the smarter move, personally. I
Well,
think.
maybe it's looking fairly
No, she
positive.
said she didn't have a choice.
Oh, that's true.
Not
Right.
like I
Yeah.
have a
So
choice.
she was probably like hanging out at the cannabis club and like
Yeah.
protesting for the cannabis club, and the news network was like, "Boo, you can't do that
it's
on
true.
our watch."
No, you
and
know
she
who it
was
was.
like,
It was that bitch.
it was Sarah Palin.
It was Sarah
She
Palin.
was like,
It was the
"Oh,
Palin. No, we're not
you
starting that
can't
one.
It was not Sarah Palin. It was the other bitch on the news show who
Oh, the
kept
one,
looking
the
down.
one,
She was like,
the one who
"Shit."
couldn't pull it together at the end.
She was
I don't-
like, I
I-
should never told producers I seen
She
him
was like,
there.
"This is not."
Dumb bitch.
No, she was looking. Where's my script? Where do I? How do I? I don't.
This wasn't in the show.
Commercial.
No, what would have been even better, I think,
Commercial
is that
break.
actually if she had taken marijuana and lit one up and then said F it and
She
walked
could have
off.
gotten
That would've been
arrested.
hilarious.
'cause
That
it
would've been
wasn't
hilarious.
She would have gotten arrested.
She would have got arrested. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. She would have got arrested. But it would have been
well.
very entertaining.
It definitely would have been more entertaining. Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes this week today.
This week,
On
today.
September 26th.
It's September 26th.
It is. It's about to be October, my favorite month, because Halloween is approaching.
Halloween.
I love it. All right, Courtney, where can your fans find you?
Your fans can find me, or your fans
Your
can
fa-
find
well,
me.
my fans can find you there, too.
find you. Well, you know, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stewart Starlet.
Jesse.
Everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
And you can find me at Derrial Christon on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I want to remind everyone to go and vote for the Buzz Meter question, which is, which new show are you excited to watch this season? A, Blackish, B, How to Get Away with Murder, or C, both?
What if it's none?
What if it's? We should have put a none. We didn't
Then
put a
why are
none.
there only 2?
They have to watch both.
Like, what if there's another show I want to watch?
Those were the
that's a good
2
point.
that were competing.
Jesse did the buzz meter questions, so direct all those questions.
Derrial was late today, so he couldn't add a question. So.
Here he goes. All right.
Executive producer.
All right, here we go.
I'm
Have a
doing the
great,
show.
great
Courtney was busy doing
weekend.
Fashion 401. Check it out. Check it out on
Check out Black Hollywood
BlackHollywoodLive.com.
Live.
From producers Maria Menounos, Derrial, Christon, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.